Now I will give you a brief summary of the first chapter. Oh, summary of the first chapter also, yes. Full first chapter at a glance. If I can't complete, I'll complete it tomorrow. And then we'll start what? Next chapter. Next chapter, one day, how will you complete? Let us see. Let us see. We will see what can we do. We have few classes. At least we have the touch of the first chapter, second chapter. Now Upanishad, see how the topic has built up. Let us have this habit of maintaining a very good flow of thought. And please relate each mantra with another mantra. This jumping, hopping is not good. So we have to tie up properly in one sutra. Gita is a sutra. What is the first shlok of Gita? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. And last shlok? Yatra yogeshwara Krishna, yatra partho dhanurdhara, tatra shrir matir mama. Matir mama dharma kshetre. Matir mama dharma. Mam mati is dharma. This is the mala. Mala ban gayi Gita ki. So you have to make a mala first. And more you go across, you will have a grip on the subject. You will feel all the mantras are standing in front of you. And now I am going to see how the topic developed. Time is less, half an hour we have. Let me see what can be done. Rest I will complete, it will just take more time. Upanishad wants to teach the nature of self by adhyarop and apavad. Okay. Adhyarop means acceptance of the world. Adhyarop means acceptance of the anat prapanch. And adhyarop tells that anatma is not asat. It is asad vilakshanam. If something is absolutely asat, it won't be seen at all. Like the horn of the hare or the son of the barren woman. So it is not absolutely asat. It is asat vilakshanam. Because I am using the world. It is totally not non-existent. So after accepting the adhyarop, it is negating the anatma prapanch. That is called apavad. So apavad means negating. Negating doesn't mean removing. Taking away the sat, that this is not sat, is called negation. That means the prapanch is not sat, means it is sad vilakshanam. So the prapanch is sad asadbhyam vilakshanam. It is neither sat, neither asat. Okay. Which is sat asadbhyam vilakshanam. That is called technically as mithya. Mithya. Okay. Mithya definition is, one definition of mithya, I think I had not. Swa abhave adhikaranam bhasmanatvam mithyatvam. One good definition is there. Something is appearing in its absence. Swa abhava adhikarane bhasmanatvam mithyatvam. Like the snake is appearing on the rope where a snake is not there. Similarly, anything which is mithya. Why this jagat is not asat? Because it is seen. And why it is not sat? Because it is negated. Ajeeb sa hai. It is not asat totally because it is perceived. And why it is not sat? Because I see disappearance of it. And therefore I will say it is seemingly Sat. We use the word, in other word, it is appearing as Sat for some time and disappearing. Because definition of Sat is na sato vidyate bhava, na abhava vidyate satah. Anything which is asat is not there, and anything which is Sat will never be absent. And therefore mithya vastu requires a satya adhishthan. Adhishthan, you understand? Adhik sthan is called adhishthan. That means something should be there on which this is dependent on. This is where Bauddha question. To see the false makeup, you should have a real face. To see the blueness in the sky, you should have real what? Space. Space and sky are different. Don't confuse space and sky. What is blue is the sky. In this room, space is there or sky? If you are saying sky, then in the head also a lot of space is there. In the room, space is there, sky is not there. Sky is an optical delusion. But space is not an optical delusion. But if the space is not there, you can't see sky. Okay. That is called, Gurudev used this word. One thing that I saw in Gurudev, he coined the corresponding words in English. Substratum, upadhi, conditioning. It is difficult to find a very accurate word, but Gurudev used the word substratum. But you are an advanced student of Vedanta, and therefore please know the corresponding Sanskrit word, because it communicates more. Like I said, adhishthan. Adhishthan means adhik sthan. That means it is there. The appearance is on one part of the adhishthan. The blueness is appearing on one part of the space. Padosya vishwabhutani tripadasya mritam devi. Purush Sukh says on one part only delusion is there. All other parts are without delusion. Vishtabhyam imdam krishnam ekamshin sthito jagat. In 10th chapter Bhagavan says. On one part only on me the world is seen. Okay. Because there is nothing on whole truth, there is nothing called whole truth the world is seen. Whole truth you cannot see the world. Because, why? The covered should be bigger than the covered. This tablecloth should be bigger than the table. So world cannot be, because this Sat is not limited by space-time. Therefore the appearance cannot be bigger than the Sat. The cloud cannot cover the sun. It is seemingly covering the sun. Actually, very big distance between the cloud and the sun. It is cloudy here, but other place it can be very, very dark, sunny at the same time. It is one patch of cloud which is covering the sun as if. Even. Therefore, this adhishthan word itself is a very communicative word. Adhik sthan. Oh. Adhik sthan. So that is called adhishthan. Sa, when it is preceded by E, it becomes Sha. By one Sandhi rule is there. Only what? Say slowly. When Sa, it is preceded by E, U, etc., then Sa, Dantavya Sa becomes more than Sha. So it is adhishthan. Adhishthan. Oh, like Sushma. Actually, word is Sama. Word is Sama. What one is there. But it is preceded by U. And therefore, because of that U, that Sa has become Sha. And it has become Sushama. Beautiful. Sama. Something is Sam. And that is called because why that Sandhi rule is there? That is the genius of Panini. He said Susama doesn't appear good. That doesn't appear good in listening. So they found out that if U is there or E is there before Sa, the pronunciation is not very beautiful. Adhisthan doesn't look good. And then Panini make the rule that let the Sa change into Sha. And therefore it became Sushama. Okay. Oh, I did not know that. Yes. Like that, many words are there. It will become Sanskrit class now. More you go into it, more your love for Sanskrit will come up. I am not saying you have to study very big Sanskrit. But wherever you get little chance to know something, don't miss it. It's very beautiful language. Okay. Adhishthan. Okay. Now, Shruti says that Satyam should be there at Adhishthan to reflect the Mithya. Okay. Now it is said here. Now it is said that I, the Satyam and I cannot be two things. Because Satyam will become Drishya and Drishya will become Jad and Jad will become dying. And therefore Aham and Satyam should be one. That means I am the Adhishthan of the Jagat. Jagat is a very big word. Jagat means gross Jagat, subtle Jagat and causal Jagat. Microcosmic and macrocosmic. This is the microcosmic body. There is a subtle body and there is a causal body, not casual body. It is a causal body. This is 3 in microcosm. 3 in macrocosm, that macrocosmic gross world is called total gross world. Possessor of that is Virat. Total subtle world, possessor of that is Hiranyagarbha. And total unmanifest world, possessor of that is Ishwar. So either I will say Avyakt, Samashti Sukshma Sharir and Samashti Sthula Sharir. So these 6 are called Jagat. Oh. In these 6 you had not told that earlier. Every time you want to hear one thing only. It is understood. So the essential teaching here is Aham Satyam and Jagat is Mithya. This is the essential teaching which is going to be held. Mayev Saglam Jatam Mayi Sarvam Pratishitam Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagadav Vyaktamurti Namat Sthani Sarvbhutani Na Chaham Teshvasida Ye Chaiva Satvika Bhavaha Rajasas Tamsas Ye Mat Eveti Tan Vidhi Nat Tuham Teshu Te Mayi. Whole Gita is full of that. I don't know those who don't hear Vedanta and they refute Vedanta. This has become one fashion sometime. To become a devotee, you have to refute Vedanta. It's very bad. I'm not naming any organization or any sampradaya from here, but we should not fall into some traps like that. How will you prove this sentence in Gita? How will you prove Upanishad? How will you prove Aham Brahmasmi? How will you prove Tattvamasi? Just because I am a devotee, it has become essential that I say all Vedantis are, Hum Brahma nahi hai. Bole this, one person told. You know what? Bole you people, these Vedantis, अभी पार्वती जी मिल जाए तो मारेंगी पकड़ के. कहें क्यों भाई पार्वती जी कहाँ से? बोले शिवो हम यू आर सेइंग. You are saying शिवो हम तुम शिव जी हो. बड़े नाराज भाई. कहीं तो भाई कि भाई अरसुआ ना पी. बोले शिवो हम बोलते हैं. अरे भाई हम बोलते नहीं शिव जी हैं. हम कहाँ बोल रहे हैं शिव है. शिव हैज द मीनिंग ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. Shiv has come from Shing Dhatu, second conjugation. And Shing means Sherate Yasmin, in which all sleep. That means on the consciousness only world goes to unmanifest and into where it come out. That is the meaning of Shiv. That comes in Mandukya. Shivam Chaturtham Yam Manyante Sa Atma. Seventh mantra of Mandukya gives the Shiv meaning like that. Vedantis never say that I am Ishwar. They see the essence of the Ishwar. And the essence of Jiv is one. Conditioning wise, both are different. I hope this fundamental thing must be knowing. So we are never saying that I am Ishwar. It will be foolish to say like that. Ishwar is the one which is full of creativity of the whole world. We can't create one here also. As far as power is concerned, there is no match. But the essence, the consciousness on which Ishwaratva is there and the consciousness on which Jivatva is there, that substratum is not two. If it becomes two, then Ishwar will become Jad. Ishwar will become Drishya. And consciousness will become Jad. If you say Ishwar is somewhere else and Jiv is different, Ishwar is totally different, then Ishwar will become exclusive Ishwar. Two will be there. Jiv is different, Ishwar is different. Ishwar will become Drishya, Jad. And therefore Bhagavan Krishna scolds such people. He says that those who think I am only this body, they don't know me properly. I am now moving ahead. This is the essence which will be taught. Now there are two chapters. Pratham Adhyaya is Adhyarop Pradhan. Dviti Adhyaya is Apavad Pradhan. Well, yes, I understand. I had known this many times. Upanishad divides this whole section into 6 parts. What are those 6 parts? Number 1 part is called Sadhanani, in which karma comes and upasana comes. Sadhanani. Number 2 part is called Sadhyam. Sadhyam means phalam. Putra, wealth, everything is there. Number 3 part, so sadhan and sadhyam is called Vyakrit Prapanch. 1 plus 2 is equal to Vyakrit Prapanch. Number 3 part is called Avyakrit Prapanch. Before Srishti and after Srishti. First is sadhan, second is sadhya, third is Avyakrit Prapanch. Fourth is Kartrutvam. Kartrutvam. Doership, temporarily accepted by the Vedas. Kartrutvam. Fifth is Bhoktrutvam, enjoyership, experiencer of karma phalam. And sixth portion is what you just heard, Nam, Roop and Karma. This whole Brahman can be divided into these 6 sections, 6 points. Okay. First chapter has 6 sections called Brahmanas. First 3 Brahmanas deal with sadhanani. When you will hear now quotation from Brother Aranyak, you will be very familiar now. He will not threaten you. First Brahman is called Ashwamedh Brahman. In that, Yag Ashwe Virat Upasana. In the Ashwa Virat Upasana was there. Long back we heard this. In the second Brahman, we have Agni Brahman, it is called. So first Brahman is called Ashwamedh Brahman. Second Brahman is called, what was that? Agni Brahman. Oh, yes, I think I heard somewhere. This is Agno Virat Upasana. In the Agni Virat Upasana is there. Okay. Third Brahman's name was Udgit Brahman. This is Hiranyagarbha endowed with lot of gunas. Gun Vishisht Hiranyagarbha Upasana on prana. On prana. Okay, just remember small things. So in one of the mantras, prana is called Udgit, and therefore this is called Udgit Brahmana. It should not appear anything is foreign. I am just repeating it, what you have heard. Fourth Brahman is called Purushvidha Brahmana. So Hiranyagarbha is glorified as a sadhyam. Who was having bhayam and arati? Yes. That was called Hiranyagarbha. That is the sadhya. So Prajapati iti sadhyam. He was a great creator. From that Manu Shatrupa came and bull came and goat came. Same one. Yes. Remember animals a lot. Okay. So this is the fourth section. You have to tie up everything. You should not be loosely left here and there. One should be trying to excel himself every time. His students should become better. Okay, but I can't by heart shlokas. Never by. At least know what ideas are contained. After that, Avyakrit came in the fourth section. Avyakrit Prapanch was described. Avyakrit Prapanch was described. That Srishti had come from a non-existent, and then it was proved that it has come from existence. That Avyakrit Prapanch was described in this fourth section. Fourth Brahman is there. Acha. And in that, Jeev's Kartritva has been discussed. In that fourth Brahman, that Jeev was there. He was feeding the tree also, Pitar also, plant also, Pipilika also. So Karta has to please everybody, and Jeev had given the enjoyership of the Jeev was given one name called Lok. Lok means Bhogyam. He was the Bhogyam of all. That Jeev was there. Object of enjoyment. When you give the food to Pipilika, then for Pipilika also you are enjoyment. Bhogya. I am the Bhogya of Pipilika. I am the Bhogya of Pitar. Of course, Pashu was there. I am coming to Devanam, Pashu is there. So that was also described in the fourth Brahman. So as a Karta, I become Bhogya Vastu. Okay. Kitna ho gaya? 4 section. 5th section was Saptana Brahmana. This is recently we completed. Last year. No. This. Just now we saw Saptana Brahmana. I can tell all the Brahmanas, which are the 7. No, I will not ask. I know that you can tell. So in here, Jeev is enjoyer. Earlier, Jeev was enjoyed. He is enjoying 7 annas. Okay. And 6th section was called Ukt Brahmanam, which we just now, today morning we saw, that Nam Roop Karma. This defines the creation, and ultimately whole creation is only the Atma, which is Shariram. So whole world is based on my Shariram. So in one stroke, the Sharir was reduced. The whole body, world was reduced to body. ये Manduk की style है. In one stroke, they reduced the whole thing into only just a false body. Child of false body is called the world. And because when false body won't be there, then you won't have the world also. Now this is in general how the progress of the Brahmanas went. Now I will touch upon some particular aspect. What is the particular aspect? Why didn't you touch in that? Because it will hamper our flow. If I tell. In that portion, one of the serious topic was Vidya Sutram and Avidya Sutram. Atma iti eva upasita. This is the foundation of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And there was something called Avidya Sutram. What is Avidya Sutram? Avidya Sutram anya asau aham anya iti yah veda sana veda satu pashu devanam He is like the animal of the Devatas. Okay, that is the Vidya Sutram. So what was the Vidya Sutram? Vidya Sutram was 1.4.47. 1.4.7. And Avidya Sutram was 1.4.10. 1 means first chapter, 4th Brahman and 7th Mantra. At least you remember 1.4.7. That is the Vidya Sutram, that is a Vidya. After giving the Vidya Sutram and Avidya Sutram, he Upanishad tries to explain in the 5th and 6th section the Avidya Sutram. He explains the Avidya Sutram, and in that Avidya Sutram, he brought the Dev Varna and Manush Varna. Dev Varna and Manush Varna and Dharma, etc. And from that it came, Virat came, and ultimately everything else had come up. What we saw yesterday. So this is how Vidya Sutra and Avidya Sutra had been described. Vidya Sutra, it will now elaborate it more in the next sections. Avidya Sutra has been described as the Dev Varna, and their ashram was mentioned, and Grahastha ashram was mentioned, and the duties of the Grahastha ashram was mentioned. So Varna and ashram was superimposed on this person who was a Pashuvat. Okay, I understand that. And then Lokas was. This was the point number 1 about Vidya Sutra, Avidya Sutra. In this portion, there was some kind of bhashya also. We had around 7 elaborate discussion, whereas bhashya became longer. 7 elaborate discussion. I don't remember one also. In that 7 elaborate discussion, first was called Sambandh Bhashya. Sambandh Bhashya, which connected Gyan Kand and Karma Kand. I didn't take in detail this one, it was initially. Second Bhashya was Ghat Bhashya. Ghat Bhashya described the cause and effect, that world cannot come from nothing. This was second. Nothing was created, this is not right. Okay. Then another Bhashya came, Pramana Bhashya. When Vedas were talk about the Pramana also. Pramana Bhashya was there. Then one more Bhashya was there, it was called Anupravesh Bhashya. Oh, yes. I remember this was said something like that. I can't recollect. Entering. Sakshi Rupena, entering is there. Okay. How many bhashya are there? 5? 4. So Anupravesh Bhashya was there, then Pramana Bhashya was there. And in that, in the Vidya Sutra Bhashya, which is also a good Bhashya, Vidya Sutra Bhashya was there. So Brahman should be recognized as what is Gyan is Moksha. Gyan and Moksha are not different. That Gyan is today, Moksha will be. Gyanat ev kaivalyam nahi, Gyanam ev kaivalyam. From knowledge, Moksha, this is not that great. This Upanishad said that knowledge alone is Moksha. Okay. One more important mantra was described here as this Asato ma Sadgamaya and Tamso ma Jyotirgamaya. Very general meaning, take from falseness to truth. But very beautifully Bhashkar said, if you remember, from a Shastri Karma to Shastri Karma, and from the knowledge of a Shastri Karma to the knowledge of Shastri Karma, that was mentioned. That was called Abhyaroha mantra. This is mantra which has to be chanted. On one more point, Bhashya was there. Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati. When Virat was born, he was fearful that nobody is there. Then it was mentioned that fear comes from someone else. And from, if you know your own self, fear won't be there. Another one point was there that most beloved one is the self. देख रहे हैं आप कितना कुछ पॉइंट है इसमें. Sometimes those who have written their notes, you refer to your class notes also, you will understand how many points were there. That is called a richness of your Upanishads. It was said, that something is not dear for itself, it is dear because the self is of the nature of joy. And priyam tvam rotsyati, anything which is other than the self will make you cry because it will go away. That was also one thing. These are few topics. I told it first, main thing, adhyaroop apavad, adhyaroop apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate, satya atma. This was the central theme. How it fitted 6 Brahman, how it travelled. Then among the Brahman, where Bhagavan Bhashyakar gave a bigger coverage and more attention, that also we saw. I hope it is clear. Again, first Brahman's name, Ashwamedh Brahman, second Agni Brahman, third Pran, fourth Purush Veda, fifth Saptana Brahman, and sixth Uktha Brahman. This is the flow of thought. That means all the Adhyarop word, that means Vyakt Prapanch. In Vyakt, Sadhya and Sadhan Prapanch is called Vyakta Prapanch. And a Vyakta Prapanch, all has been superimposed and ultimately it concluded. See how beautiful it is concluding. That all is on the superimposed because it is based on the false body. After this Adhyarop, now second chapter will be Apavad chapter, which we will be seeing. Let me see if I can start. In our next class, we'll see. Okay, so Apavad portion will start. Very, very beautiful portion. And if God wills, I had talked to Krishna, we can have came from 5th April to 26th April. With the blessings of Gurudev and Guruji, we will continue it. We need 2 more sessions and one will be there, and you will really feel that Lord has blessed by this Upanishad. Lord's best blessings is through satsang and sadhana. Okay, so we will see it in our next class. Hari Om. That's Hari Om.